All right. What's the first thing a potential client's going to do to check you out? Google you. What are they going to put in? Your name. Who wants to be the first victim? Who wants to put their name up and see what their Google search comes up with? What's your name? So I have a semi-common name as well, and I have to compete with a nuclear physicist, 2 baseball players, one's a Hall of Fame. So, oh, that's well, clients are clients. Yeah. All right, so realtor.com. What do we have here? I haven't, since I just started, I don't have that. Yeah, you're not on the board yet, right? I am on the board, but I don't have okay. All these hits are probably this one might be you, because if you join the board, realtor.com, it has a very deep affiliation with CAR&R. And also what's kind of nice too is when we go into reputation management, we have a product called Testimonial Tree that houses our reviews for the website and a few other things. They will actually capture them and display them on your realtor.com profile. And realtor.com is, constantly advertised, and I think it's like 4th or 5th in the apps that the consumers are using, second to Zillow and Redfin. So for you, your homework would be to go to, and it's funny because you can't go to realtor.com and log in as an agent. You have to go to, I think it's move.com. But if you can't find that, do a Google search for realtor.com agent login. You can go in, claim your profile, and set up your own, background, your picture. So definitely do that. And also do the same thing on Zillow. Yeah, so if you've joined the board, you have a realtor.com profile. You just need to claim it. And you'll get access to it. And then you can go ahead and, fulfill it with your pictures, your bio, etc. Yeah, everybody's will until you go in and claim it, and then you'll set up a username and password, and then it'll allow you to go in and add your stuff. So with that said, what is the easiest way to take over your Google results without paying an SEO company thousands of dollars? Oh. You can change everything in that profile. You can change the background, you can change your photos, but you have to claim it. Okay. All right, sorry about that, guys. Chrome decided to give up the fight. So if you go to business.google.com, if you have a Google account, whether it's your personal one, your first team email account is also a Google account. It'll take you to this platform called Google Business Profile Manager. This used to be referred to as Google My Business. Before that, it was Google Places. And before that, it was Google Plus, which was a horrible attempt at taking over Facebook. But the back end of that is what runs this. And it happens to be the best place to generate your own local SEO and actually generate leads from. So as new realtors, you have a blank slate here. So like we Googled you, you didn't have that in place. Let me show you what a completed profile will look like. Oh yeah, you're good. It's I did. We're good. Mike's working too. So this section right here, you're only going to see if you're logged in as yourself. But this is where you can go in and edit your profile. And then if you see here on the right, okay. So by default, when you claim the business, and you're going to claim the business using your home office address. So in the pamphlet, we're not going to go through it step by step, but I want to show you kind of what to look for. When you first claim the profile, it's just going to show a picture of the building. But by going in and editing it, you can add your headshot, you can add property photos. If you haven't, had a listing yet, you could just find some really nice stock photos. They tell you not to do that, but visually it's appealing. It doesn't help with your SEO, but if you want to kind of set a precedent of, what your look is like, this is a great opportunity to do so, because this is the first thing that they're going to see. They're going to see this before your website, before any of your Facebook posts, anything you've done on Instagram. This is what they're going to see first. After this, they're going to see Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and all the big brokers. Unless yeah, it's free. There's no cost. If you're logged into your Gmail account, you can go in and create the business. What that'll do is it'll create the business under your personal Gmail account. If you want to do it under the First Team account, you can do so as well. That's completely up to you. But your business has to be associated with some kind of Google account, which you automatically will have if you have a Gmail account. Make sense?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen? Jason can't see it.
Yeah, no, Google crashed and then I went and thought I shared it again.
Goodness.
Yeah. Controls. No.
Put more. Oh, share screen. Perfect.
There we go. You want me to share the screen that I'm working on? Wow, it's a tough crowd. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Zoom guys. All right, so just to recap, this is what comes up when you've claimed your profile. And I've worked with Kate and we've done some work on it that I'm going to show you guys how to do as well. Because by doing these steps that I'm going to show you, you can take some of the things that you created in the last meeting, the landing pages, the squeeze pages, and you can put them here. That way, as soon as they browse you, they can also go directly into your landing pages, therefore generating a potential lead. So she works in the Rossmore office. She's kind of Seal Beach, Huntington Beach area. But what we have here is it's checked, so it's verified. So on the handout, it talks about a verification process. You can do it one of two ways. Sometimes it'll let you do a verification with a phone number, and that could be your cell number, and it'll just do a two-step verification with your mobile. If it doesn't allow you to do that, then you have to use their postcard method, which they automatically send a postcard to the office. Lisa will probably intercept it for you, and there'll be a 6-digit code on that you will enter into your profile to get verified. The reason you want to be verified is if you're not verified, your profile is not going to show up to the public. So worst case scenario, the postcard takes about 5 days to show up. But once you do the verification, you're good. But in the interim, you can log into it. You can add everything you want to it. So it gives you that period to get everything set up. So don't feel that you have to, wait and twiddle your thumbs that you can't start to add to it. So business information, she doesn't have her hours, but you can go in and set hours. You can set an appointment link. So if you use something like Calendly, you could put that link right there, and then they could just click on it and set an appointment with you. Because the whole idea, make it easy for your potential clients to reach out to you to get information from you. Products, well, your realtors, what are your products? Well, what's my home worth? That's a product. So what we did here is it's a screenshot of what's my home worth as the photograph. And then the link here for learn more is a sell page on your website. Takes them right there. So like we talked about, the gimmick of the QR code to draw them to do something. This is the same thing. You have they click right there and get their home value. Very effective. This one isn't so much a lead generator, but more of a conversation starter. So First Team produces in Orange County and LA, Inland Empire, and also Los Angeles, and I think San Diego, but all the counties have this monthly real estate guide. So I've just taken the image here, and this links directly to the First Team landing page that has all of these reports. So the end user can go in and peruse and actually download these guides themselves. This is kind of the exception. You want to try and use lead generating pages for everything, but sometimes you have to give them something and not expect anything back. So this is one of those things. And of course, it's, First Team's going to ask for that, but it just gives a nice little overview of what's going on. Then depending on where they're coming from or where they're going, they can click right here and actually download the whole report. For you as new agents, this is something that I think is a great tool. So like you were making flyers for your open house, right? You could take the front shot of this market report for that particular area that you're in and put it on the back side. You don't have to, it's a really easy way to make the most of it. So like, for instance, let's just say Orange County, you want it to be very vague. Or you could come down as simple as, just Aliso Viejo. And you can also access from the roadmap as well. Okay. Under that, you're going to have reviews. So what Google does, if you don't have Google reviews, it'll pull your reviews from Zillow. If you have Facebook reviews, it'll pull your reviews into this. So this is an interesting site because a lot of people ask me, well, how do you promote your Google page? You don't, it's search results. So you don't have to promote this. You just need to make sure that all your promotional material is available and easy to get to. Yes.
Someone was writing bad things about her.
Mm-hmm.
And if something like that happened, how can you do it?
A couple different ways. So with Google, if it's a Google review, an Astra review, you have the opportunity to reply. So you would reply to that, respondent as, I reached out to you, you didn't take my phone calls. I've, tried to, contact you numerous times and you refuse to speak with me. So I would love to, resolve this with you, but if you don't want it.
With that, agent,
Mm-hmm.
and she was writing back about the agent
Mm-hmm.
before, in different Google and other ones. So if the agent wants to get rid of that particular preview that, the review that she wrote,
Mm-hmm.
is there any way we can do that? Just delete it?
No, you can't just arbitrarily delete it. There are processes that you can do to get it removed, but generally that's going to be involving a reputation management company. And what they're going to do is they're going to basically stalk that user and basically unhinge all their reviews to where that user is going to get blocked and banned, and then the bad review drops off. Yeah, so usually it's best to, respond to it as soon as you get to it, because you can complain to Google and they can look at the situation, and be like, oh, this, person's just malicious, and they'll pull the review. Same thing with Yelp, but Yelp really doesn't respond to you unless you're giving them several $1,000s a month, is what I've encountered myself, and then also heard from other agents. So Yelp's not my favorite. Google is a really good, and if you're really, really worried about it, use Testimonial Tree. The unique thing about Testimonial Tree is, one, you could hand enter reviews into it. It's the only platform that allows you to do that. And then secondarily, you can go and delete them. But they're not going to get the provenance that you're going to get from a Google review or a Facebook review. And you also have reviews on Zillow and Realtor.com. And then nobody really talks about Trulia, but Trulia and Zillow are the same company. So whatever happens on Zillow will happen on Trulia. Any questions on that part? Okay. So down here, there are some additional things here. These are your posts. So if you're active and posting on your Google business profile, you're going to have a collage of items right here. So Kate, made it Hall of Fame. So we shared about that. And then what Google allows you to do every time you do a post, there's a call to action. So you can either click, go to a link, or you can do call now. So this was a piece just talking about, congratulating her on her awards. This is the market reports that are part of everybody's first team website. So one of the things you should do is take a screenshot of the area that you are farming or you're interested in working in, and then link that to your webpage. And that allows them to go in. Help if I could type. Put that in. Now I have to log in. The moment I have to log in, I am now a lead. And we'll just do that. So now I'm one of Dan's leads, which he's going to appreciate. And what generally happens when the end user does this once, like any of us, we'll go back to that same thing because we want to know, well, if that's the price in Irvine, then what's the price in Lake Forest? So they go back to it. Each time they go back to it, KV cores are going to recognize that they've been doing this and alert you to this is what they're up to. So again, this is letting your technology work for you and let it generate leads for you rather than. What do we have here? So this is a press release. Depending on what your goal is or what you've accomplished, these are great sources to generate attention and then also use as lead generation. So they did marketing to agent spotlight on her, and we just shared this. And again, she was getting calls from these posts that had happened months ago because someone had decided to Google her and start to look through her stuff. This is kind of cool. Issue is a platform that turns PDFs into magazines. So marketing uses it for different purposes. Executive Agent Magazine, a lot of top producers will end up in here, and then you can get this copy of it that you could share to your sphere. And again, it's a nice promotion piece that shows that you've made it, you're established. So here's another deal. you may not have had anything in your list of sold yet, but when you do, the website will keep tally of everything that you sell. So once you've got a few sales under your belt, you can share this section of your website, which is, let's say here. You're killing me. Or what you could do is what your agent website will revert to when you click on sold, it'll show the whole company's production. So if you wanted to leverage the company, you could use that as a link on your site for in the time being. And where you would find that would be go under your agent, our listings, sold. All right, let me stop the share for a second. This is called the profile manager. They're going to phase it out. So that's really the reason I'm not going to go through it. But this information, once you've claimed your Google business profile, you're going to get a weekly email that's going to give you statistics of what posts are being liked, how many people are liking them. So it gives you a good gauge of if what you're doing is being effective. And then also too, it will count the times if you go ahead and set up your phone number every time they click to call you. So if you're seeing, hundreds of clicks, you know that a lot of people are hitting your site. So that's, a really good thing. You also have map views. And again, once you've established this, when you use Google Maps, you will pop up as a container. So if you look at this office in Google Maps, there's like 100 little dots because of individual agents. But if you do that, where that would be advantageous is, let's just say somebody out of the area is driving around and they tell Siri, hey, find me a real estate agent in Irvine. Well, if you're set up on here, you could be that agent that decides to pop up. Yes, so whatever you set up in this portion will also set you up in Google Maps. So if they search for you in a Google search, you'll pop up, but if they search for you in a Google Maps search, you're also going to show up. So let me show you how to edit your profile through Google. You would search your name. Usually it's going to be your name, realtor, because it'll pick you up faster that way. And then you're going to go here to edit profile. Here you're going to have your business information, category, usually going to be real estate agent, and your description. So whatever copy you've created and placed in your agent website, that would go here. If you have other, your bio somewhere else, you have so many characters, but you want to be consistent, and that's going to add to your SEO, is being consistent. So same picture, same verbiage, same kind of theme. because if any variation, it's going to confuse the algorithm, and you're going to drop down rather than go up in the Google search. Opening date, you can put your licensing date there, or if you're a little insecure about that, you could put the opening date of the first team. Because remember, you're salespeople unless you're brokers. So you can always kind of rest your laurels on first team as the broker until you've built your own book of business. It's okay. You just need any Gmail account, any Google account to claim your profile. It doesn't have to be professional. You just have to have some sort of Google. Yeah, like I was saying, all of them are Gmail too. So then office address, and then you can put in your service area. You know, as Seema knows, Nancy goes all over the place. So those are her service areas, which are Southern California, and then some. Hours, she's open 24 hours because we know Nancy works 24 hours. So there we go. And you can set holidays, and that's really it. Everything else is going to be. So now hours, products. So this is where we could go in. So Nancy doesn't have any products right now, but if we wanted to create one for her, we're going to go hit get started. And we will go, what? Category. So I'm going to call it real estate. And then what I'm going to do here . Of course. Okay. So I jumped the gun there a little bit. What I was trying to do was make a screenshot of what's my home worth page. This is a little easier to do on a phone. But when you're posting to Google My Business, there's an extra step rather than like when you do it on Facebook, you could put a link, it'll automatically populate. This doesn't do that. This is a little bit like Instagram. You have to upload your photo, then type your text, and then at the end you can add a link. So what we're going to do here is, because we're going to be doing it for what's my home worth, I'm going to go to sell, and I'm going to copy this text so it exactly lines up with what I'm sending the end user to. And then I'm going to fix the spellings. Okay. I don't know what else to do. And then we're going to click learn more. And then I'm going to go up to what's my homework. I'm going to grab my link here. I'm going to copy. Thank you. I'm going to paste my link here. I'm going to hit publish, but I didn't have my photo, so we're just going to find. We'll use this one. File is too small. Okay. What we got here? Maybe we can use this. Okay, that works. So that should be a picture of the site, but I'm having some limitations with this computer. It won't let me save or download anything. So your picture goes there, your title, real estate, your category, there's no price range, and then our text, and we hit publish. So now, if I refresh this, it's not showing up. So let's go back to edit profile. Let's go to products. See, there's my product. Yeah, so when you do post, it's going to review it. It can take up to 30 minutes. I'll hit publish. Any questions about that process? Okay. I'm going to delete this just because. All right. Bless you. Another thing that you can also generate leads with Google is there's a section called questions and answers. So I might have talked about this last week, but it's kind of like Reddit without all the weirdos. So questions and answers it's a platform that shows up on your profile, and it's just an exchange of questions and answers. So if you're new, you're probably not going to have a lot of conversations with clients yet. But what you can do is you can either band together or have family, friends go in and ask questions, almost like you're scripted, and then you answer them. What happens is if you use what's referred to as SEO friendly copy, if let's just say you want to farm Woodbridge and West Park. So Evan goes and asks you a question, hey, what are the best, what are the best places to shop in West Park? And you're just like, well, and then someone else comes up and asks the question about, related to that area. It doesn't necessarily have to be real estate related. The more questions and answers that you accumulate, Google is going to see you as a almost like an influencer of sorts. So then you get to show up higher and higher and higher. And if you're proficient with this, you could show up above some of your established agents that have, been in business for years because they're not taking advantage of it. Tom Ferry is going to do a whole series on this, probably, if not the end of this year, the beginning of next year. And the reason I sent this out, it's a great user guide, but a top producing agent team gave me this after I did a Google optimization for them 2 years ago. And it covered pretty much everything that I covered. So I'm usually good at hitting stuff before it happens, but this is a great guide. If you just follow this and go through this, you'll be set up in a great position. And it also has a tie into Calendly, which is free at first. If you just have one calendar, one item, then you don't have to pay for it. But if you want to have multiple calendars for different things, that's where you might have to pay for it, but it's pretty cost prohibitive. But Calendly makes it really easy for people to make appointments with you, and you can sync it with your calendar. And what I do is I just block out time where I may not have something going on, but I know I don't want online users to, schedule that. But it's a really, really effective tool that, a lot of offices are utilizing as well. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
6 emails back and forth of when is this? No, that's not. No, I can't.
And then phone calls and text messages.
I control what I can do on my end, and they can just fit in wherever I need them to.
100%. And also too, if you want to give the illusion to the end user that you're super busy, well then block out time, go to the gym, go. So I'm not going to dive too deep into that because we're running out of time, but this definitely do this. So of anything that you do, set up your Google page, get your basics in there, your what's my home worth. If you're going to look for buyers, go in, and I think did you guys go through the training for your agent website yet? Like the basics? Nope. Okay. Let me just go through it real quick. Okay, so just to recap, let's pretend this is your website. There we go. So go from your homepage, you go to sell. This should be the first thing that you post to Google My Page. And to get the background, do you guys know how to do a screenshot? Okay, so screenshot this page, whether you do it on mobile or the computer, save that image, and because you're going to use that for when you post on Google My Business, the link to go to this. Another area is going to be, where's that, market reports. No. What is it? Okay. I'm gonna jump. This is the, everybody has a testimonial section on their website. Hers is pink because you can customize your colors. So what happens is your reviews from Zillow will show up here on the right. They're just brought in through a widget. But these right here, these are all testimonial tree. So if you have reviews from other walks of businesses, you could theoretically use them here. Or if you have, you know, friends, family, people that support you that are willing to give you a review beforehand, you can do that as well. Reviews are incredibly valuable, and they're going to not only help you, you know, generate business, they're going to build integrity and trust around your name. And not only by having them here, but also there are tools that you can use that will take reviews and they'll make little images of them so you could post them on Instagram. So on your Google page, you can not only have your reviews there, but you could also have in a collage pictures of your reviews from other platforms. Or if you have reviews from another platform, you could link those to your Google page until you start to accumulate your own reviews through Google. All right, so just to recap, your Google profile, you can access, go to business.google.com. Sometimes it'll show up in our little 9 guy here, but they're going to be taking this app away, so I don't count on it. But business.google.com will consistently get you to your Google profile, and you can use your first team Gmail account or your own Gmail account. It just has to be one or the other. And then remember, your products are going to be what's my home worth. This actually needs to come off. This was for a 0 down promotion that was happening through the state of California. And then lastly, this is a great takeaway for your potential clients and also for you to add on to the back of any flyers you may be doing for open houses. The Orange County Market Update is available at firstteam.com/local-market reports. It's updated every month. And if you go in and go ahead and download it, this doesn't have Adobe on it, does it? With Adobe Reader, I don't know if I can do that with the system reader. There's something called Snapshot. So in Adobe Reader, go under File or Edit. In there's something called Snapshot. There's a little icon of a camera. You can snapshot the page, and then you could basically paste it in the back end of your flyer that you create in LucidPress. So if you've done the front for, you know, open house, blah, 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 you can hit second page, snapshot this Orange County Market Update or Irvine Market Update, and then Control V or paste into the second page. Now you have relevant information on the back of your flyer, along with the promotion for the particular property in the front. Or another thing that a lot of people do is, remember we created that what's your home worth flyer a couple weeks ago? This market report you could put on the back of it. So if you're going after seller leads, it gives them the opportunity to get their home value instantly and get sucked into your KV core system. And on the back of it, it has information for that particular area all right there. And it's something that you can do yourself in, you know, 5-10 minutes time. And just remember the QR codes, you can reuse the same QR code for open houses. You just have to go back into your QR code manager and change the link to the new property. But your what's my home worth, unless you're going to start doing specific areas, that's always going to be the same. It's always going to be your first name, last name, .firstteam.com/sell. And that's the what's my home worth link on all of everybody's website that you get through First Team. Yeah. No. Well, they're to download them, they're updated automatically by our marketing department. Yeah. So, but correct. But I'm showing you, it's always going to be a go-to. So when you're ready to do a particular flyer, then go in, download the latest one, take the snapshot for that month, and then go ahead and use that. And just, rinse, repeat, the next month or a new property, do it again. Or maybe the property's in a different area. So it's a great resource because a lot of people wonder, well, what do I do with the second side? Well, this gives all this information that they would ever ask for. And it starts off with Orange County, but it does go into individuals. Yeah. Okay, so where you get this booklet, no, it's okay. Let's go back a step. firstteam.com/local-market-reports. And then at the very bottom, there's a download link. So if you download it, then you have a native copy of it and it's easy to manipulate rather than to depend on the web version. Yeah. Mm-hmm. firstteam.com/local-market-reports. But if you go to the First Team website, the main company, it's going to be at the bottom as well. And also it's available in Roadmap through First Place. You just type in Orange County Market Report.
Jason asked a question in the chat.
Yeah, it goes in order. So Orange County is always going to be first, then it will go San Diego. So same process. So if you just, you may get a listing down in San Diego County, you can do the same thing, but they'll all be under the same URL. And then also too, as new agents, you may not have listings to promote yet. You can use these as well. Now, if you use the links off of here, they're not going to go into your KV core. But if you just want to have a link real quick just to show what's available, this is a nice place to go. And it's just at the tail end of where we just were. So I'm going to go back a step. You can do it. Okay. So where it says search Orange County homes, just listed affordable Lux. So if you wanted to show off our luxury inventory, this would be a nice post. Oh, we don't have any luxury properties today. Okay. That's kind of an oxymoron, affordable home. So let's see what comes up. Well, I believe this one. Okay. So for time being, let's stick with just listed. That's a really good question, Jason. So what Jason asked is he gets daily calls about verifying your business on Google. As you guys have joined the board, you're probably going to start getting calls from people trying to sell you everything under the sun. So if you've already gone through and got verified your profile, you don't need anyone to do it for you. That's not going to help you. So what I'm telling Jason is those are generally just sales calls. I would just ignore them. And the other one you're going to get is we'll get you on the first page of Google for $200. Well, I can teach you how to do that yourself, but you're not going to last there more than a couple days. So that's what these guys do. They come in, oh, look, you're on number one. And then it just falls to the ground because what they were pushing you up with is no longer there. So be careful of scams. If you're unsure of anything, reach out to Dana, Dan. I'm available for questions too. You know, we'll be happy to help you, but just avoid those guys. Because once you're verified unless you do something malicious. All right. Any questions about what we covered? I know we bounced around all over the place, but I know we didn't go through what's in here, but you guys kind of got thrown in the tail end of it. So I think if you go through this guide yourself, you should be able to get the most out of it, because we did kind of the hardest part of it. That's not even in here first. So you guys kind of went in, you went in AP before you got to do the rudimentary. So I would say go through this, when you have a chance. If you have any questions, I'm always available. Even though I'm not here, you can email me, text me. Yeah, of course. But this will give you basically the basics of what to pull from KV Core, and that provides you with the links that you can add to your Google page. And subsequently, you can also do it on Facebook as well, and LinkedIn. So Instagram, the trick with Instagram is there's a product called, well, you can do stories, but there's something called Linktree. And Linktree is another app that's free at first, but Linktree allows you to have multiple links on your Instagram bio. So instead of putting your website there, you would put your Linktree link, and on that Linktree link, you would have multiple. I'm trying to think of someone who has one. Oh, I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. No, that's Instagram does that on purpose. So to get around that, you have to use. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Yes, that's it. So what you do is you use Linktree, which Linktree also works on other platforms. They're going to show me what it looks like. Trying to think. They give you I think 3 links, and then they charge you. Trying to think, what's her name? Oh, I don't remember now. Jackie Direct. Nope. Okay. Give me a second here. Yeah. The only thing about stories is, well, but there's what I've noticed, and I've been hitting my accounts really hard because I've been kind of hurting audiences off of one to another. But you have a different audience that will view your stories and actually look at and engage in your posts. Excellent. Yeah. Huh. Nice. Oh, of course. I'm just looking up. I'm trying to remember Jackie Stasik's Instagram, because she has a Linktree. I wanted to show these guys what that looks like. Come on. Okay. For real estate, Facebook's one of your best. LinkedIn is a really good source for if you're going to share, let's say, financial advice, things like that, because it's business to business. Oh, it's underscore. I always forget that. I was close. Oh, now I can just can't spell. You know what it is? It's the keyboard angle that's what's throwing me off. Okay. All right, that's better. Now I get what you're saying. It's like I'm. Okay, so this is Linktree. So in lieu of having them go to your website, which normally you do, it takes them to this. Now hers isn't, she just started, so she's still messing with it. But you could put multiple links here. So you could have, what's my home worth? You could have, I'm doing an open house this week, and you can have, did you know that First Team has sold, $34 billion this year, that kind of thing. This allows you to share all that information on your Instagram profile. And then also, it also works with TikTok and I think one other platform as well. And then let's. So Jason, on the market reports, you can give them the PDF. It's not going to, generate any leads unless you were to set something up specifically. But where I really saw the value for that is if you're doing any flyers, it's a great thing to graft on the back end of it. The 15 questions. So we did, I think a week before you guys started, we did the 15 reasons to sell. And it's a 15-page guide that is available in LucidPress to everybody that you can customize to yourself. It's a fantastic piece that's great for lead generation. So what he was asking, would you include that as a product page as well? And I would. So I don't know if that was the class that we didn't get the recording on, but if not, I'll go through and re-demonstrate the process of doing that. But in LucidPress, it's called 15 questions. And you can create a booklet that you could print out. It's a lot of pages, but you can create a link to it. So then that link is what you would put under your product link here. That way it would give them the ability to look at it. Or remember we did create the squeeze page for that particular. So that squeeze page we created for the 15 reasons to sell, that is the link that you would put on the Google page. So let me answer. So the 15. And then what I'm telling Jason here is if you do anything on TikTok, make sure you save it and you put it in your Instagram. You can do it through Shorts, or you can do it YouTube. Every platform has its own version of each other's thing. So if you're going to take the time to record, spread it across, unless it's inappropriate or something like that. But there's usually no reason why, because leverage what you have. That's going to get you ahead of everything that you do. And even Facebook, even if you don't hang out there, there's a huge audience and most of them can afford to buy houses. Yep, exactly. All right, so that, let me show you the link tree. So link tree is just, it's linktr.ee. And it's usually easier to do it from your phone, but pull it up, download it. It's really easy to set up. It's free at first, like everything's free at first, but there's a nominal charge to it, but it's for the more bells and whistles, the more it's going to cost you. And with anything, you can start small and then build up as you feel comfortable. But at least this allows you to take advantage of your Instagram profile, because otherwise you're very limited. You have to, resort to stories. So, any questions with what we covered? All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and sorry about jumping all over the place, but there's so much really important things to share. It's kind of like last minute you kind of realize that some things are more pertinent than others, and as new agents, the Google page is probably going to be your most valuable asset because it boosts your local SEO. It gives you the ability to leverage the brokerage to kind of spiff up your image, and it's free for now until Google finds a way to monetize it. But I don't know, they failed the last 3 times, so I don't have a lot of faith in it. So it's a good platform to work on. Yeah. What Jason had mentioned is he will take a video piece and then he'll just chop it up and share it, little chunks of it. So anything you record, you can always piecemeal and also, share them. So if you sit down either, with a mentor or maybe your partner or what have you, sit down and take an hour and record a bunch of videos, because you can always go back to it and piecemeal them and use them for different purposes. It's even better if you have like a couple change of outfits. That way it's a little, lasts a little longer.